Aha. There we go. Nice.
This bust of Anubis was from Dad's Egyptian collection. He must have put it down in the basement for our little expedition.
Again, you need that crowbar. They really want you to play this multiple times. Just gotta figure out how to climb the ladder. Okay, A.
Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met. I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
There are a lot of things to look at in here. So why don't we start from the entrance. Still, it's shut. You can't even get in through that way.
It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly? This music is familiar. It's beautiful.
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me he's found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition, but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I am going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
I've created a clever little map for Lara's birthday expedition. I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find. I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material.
This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs.
I see this image.
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
Man, look how far video games
Takes me
have come.
back. Those were good times. The best times.
The detail in her face is just stunning.
I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas. And now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again if I can convince them. I sent Amelia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life?
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. LARA'S expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here. Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it, though. The Croft family crest and initials BC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather.
So I think that lighter now will get us in to, yeah, the fireplace.
Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now. This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing pictures of tigers.
Christopher Robbins.
Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures.
Alright, so it looks like the last thing that we need to do is go up. Let's light this fireplace first. Does that do anything in particular? Just makes us all nice and toasty. Alright, looks like we're heading up now.
Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time. Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key, but we made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire.
Well, if that's the case, we're going down here.
I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase.
Now, is that on the first floor or second floor?
X marks the spot, as they say. The master key. This should get me into the West Wing.
Nice. That'll get us into a lot of things.
Alright. This should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing. I think there might be more clues to find in the library.
Oh, searching for remaining combination clues. Okay.
The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number. But which one?
2 birds, it looks like. In the altar and master bedroom.
Okay, Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing.
Okay, so the key isn't going to
Need
open
to search the rest of the manor for the clues to the combination.
So we could go back down here so we can get into... well, we don't have the crowbar. But there was a section here that we needed that master key, so why don't we go down here and look for that real quick.
Mistress Lara, I took the liberty of preparing a tray, as dinner did not go according to plans. I've included, in addition to your meal, a few treats. I would appreciate it if you kept this between us, but I felt tonight called for something special. If you will forgive me the indulgence, your rapid exit from the dinner table had me concerned, and I wanted to impart something that I hope sets your mind at ease. I have known your father for quite some time. There is an intensity to his passion that can be frightening, but I recognize that same passion in you. You're more like him than you know. Never doubt that he loves you more than his research, more than his artifacts, more than anything in this world. Storms pass, and tomorrow will be clear and blue again. When you have finished, please leave the tray outside. Be well. Yours.
I think I left it a little too early, but he didn't really say too much there in the end. So we've got 2 sections that we can go into down here. Alright, so this just takes us back to here. Okay. You see that there? And it's lit, isn't it lighting up? I don't think we can get to it though. Alright, and now we're back out here. Okay. Ooh, we missed one.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
Uncle seems like a huge dick to me. Alright, so we'll go with this one first, and then I guess we'll do that one next. Oh, there is nothing down there. Okay. I don't know why I thought it must be the main entrance. Sure there wasn't anything else. Alright.
This is strangely beautiful. Oh, okay, Lara, keep it together. You're starting to see things. Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it soon after she died. He probably couldn't bear the idea of removing any of her belongings.
My lord, we all hope your work was well received at the conference and look forward to your return. As is so often the case with these missives, I wanted to call your attention to an incident involving our little angel. It seems that Lara has been the subject of some ridicule amongst the other girls at school. From what I can gather, some of the other young ladies were teasing her for being too much of a tomboy. You know how Lara can get when pushed into a corner. Let's just say they won't be bothering her again. But I do think their words have had an effect. I believe Lara has been missing her mother lately. She's begun to worry that she isn't like the other girls. And having grown up with only a father, it shouldn't come as a surprise that she has trouble relating to them. I wonder if this new friend of yours, Anna, is it? Perhaps she might prove a welcome influence. It might be worth bringing her to the manor to meet Lara. In any case, I'll let you decide the proper time to do that. Please travel home safely. Yours, Winston.
Untouched for years, exactly as she left it.
I stood up to my family's criticism, stood in defense of Richard and our love. But as my new life began in Croft Manor, doubt set in. How could love flourish in these cavernous halls and endless passageways? Had I made a terrible mistake? I have never been more delighted to be wrong. Richard welcomed me to the manor, my new home, with a game. It was a clue, written in jumbled words from 5 different languages, but it pointed the way forward. The next clue was a seemingly blank piece of parchment in the kitchen, where the heat of a candle revealed a message written in lemon juice. I followed each step, grinning like a child as I solved his riddles and chased the trail to its end. A white cloth stretched out on the lawn where a picnic was laid out. We laughed and ate, and my doubt vanished with the last of the morning mist. Love can and will endure.
Mum with me as a baby. I've never seen this. Hard to believe I was ever that small. I don't have any memory of this. I wish I could remember doing this. Mum died too young. Mum's paintings. Which one was Dad's favorite?
I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say I returned to my family's home. Atlas was there, in one of his foul moods, and even as he dripped venom for Richard with his cruel barbs, I could only laugh. To think that I once listened to my bitter brother in matters of my own happiness. My dismissal only served to infuriate him more. I left him there in Father's study, muttering to himself. On the drive back, as Winston took a longer route through the country, I looked through my paintings, Richard's favourite one among them, a simple abstract with blocks of red. I smiled, thinking about giving it to him. I was happy, and I was going home.
Blocks of red. Dad's favourite painting. Maybe something about that painting will help me figure out the combination.
You can see it's the one that's right there.
You've almost got it, darling. Here, let me show you. Like this, see? Well done, Lara. Well done.
I wonder how my life would have been different had she lived.
Alright, looks like that's going to be it for this room. We've got that other left, or the straight away. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. See? That's why you gotta pay attention. And hit the right button.
Lara arrived tonight, though not without a bit of drama, but all is well. She's a healthy, beautiful baby. I've never seen Richard so happy. I'm sure he'll be celebrating with his favourite whiskey tonight. It's calm and peaceful now. Just the gentle sound of the rain and the small, sleeping breaths of this new life I hold in my arms. Lara Croft, my darling daughter. It's hard to put into words this feeling I have. We share a connection, something I never expected. A love so powerful and pure. Someday you'll feel it too. No matter where you go or where you find your place in this world, we will always have this connection.
Man, such good voice acting. Please be a crowbar.
This was for a show in London of Mum's work. What I wouldn't give to see this today. It says here, Amelia Croft plans to show her work in New York. I wonder what happened with that.
Maybe she did. Maybe she's still alive. Alright, so that's going to be it for this room, it looks like. I think we pretty much got everything.
I'm glad I still have so much of Mum's work.
With Amelia gone, the manor is a different place. A dimness pervades, a quiet I can't stand. Even though Lara is too young to understand what has happened, she also senses the change. She's asked after her mother only once, and I'm afraid my reaction must have terrified her. I will need Winston more than ever these next few months to help look after her. I never quite realized how much grief can consume a man, but I am utterly consumed. I know I can't escape the pain, but I will try my damnedest to avoid it. I will seal the West Wing for as long as I live in this place. It will remain exactly as Amelia left it. Perhaps someday Lara can find her own answers there.
That I have, Father. That I have.
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've experienced the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day. So it's done. Richard wanted to wait another 4 days until my birthday, but I wouldn't have it. Once I make a decision, I prefer to get on with it. So we found a small chapel in Luxor that was just right. And with Roth and the others at our side, we married as the sun set over this remarkable land. Mother will never forgive me. Atlas will forever resent me. But I don't care anymore. I'm free of de Mornay obligations, free to pursue my own passions and live my life surrounded by those who will encourage and challenge me. I'm excited for the future, whatever it may bring. Tomorrow, Richard and I return home to London as the Crofts, forging our path together.
Amelia would not have approved. That alone should have been the end of it. But I am, as God made me, a stubborn fool. I locked all the West Wing's doors, and I shall not open them again until either my life or my obstinacy comes to an end. The night before, Roth told me I would someday change my mind. Like a broken arm cast in plaster, he said. The wound would heal, and we would someday shed the bandages to be whole again. The metaphor made me furious. The clumsy way he cast our loss off as nothing more than an inconvenience. There is wisdom in his rough words, but I've done what I must. Perhaps one day, Lara will throw back the doors to let the sun shine in again. Maybe she will find her own sense of peace in this place.
At least that old thing still works. Mum's wedding ring. I always wondered what happened to it. The inscription is faded.
Crowbar is what we're gonna need, right? Nope.
I am bursting with pride. Amelia is with child. It is amazing how everything in life can change with such a simple event. Obviously, we don't know the gender, but already we've discussed possible names. Perhaps Benjamin, after my grandfather, or maybe Griffin. He was more infamous at Croft than even me. No, Amelia wouldn't have it. Besides, she's certain it's a girl. She favors a classic such as Scarlet or Kate, though I've made some headway with Lara. A subtle nod to the sun god Ra, and our days in Egypt, where certainly this child was conceived. I find myself thinking about this new life we've created, of how much she might be like us. For all my research into myths of immortality, I may have ignored the most obvious answer to the questions that plague me. We live on through our progeny, our genes, DNA, experiences passed through the generations. Perhaps this is the simple truth of eternal life, and I've just been too stubborn to accept it.
Dad may have discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October 13th, Mum's birthday.
It's only 2 days away from that.
Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday.
4 days before her birthday.
Back to the study to open that safe.
Which would have been October 9th, right?
Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful. There's a date, October something tam. The number is faded. Their anniversary was in October, but which day? Oh, I can't believe I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere. My mother's perfume. The smell, so familiar. I can almost remember her. This is Dad. I suppose it's a family tradition, but I can't imagine having one of these made of me.
After everything Atlas has done, how could you tell him about the expedition?
It's just all been too much. I needed to talk to someone. He's still my brother.
I don't trust him.
You don't have to, Richard, but please, trust me.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I know him. He'll take it to the papers. The investors will pull out.
Then go. Without me. Tonight. I will take care of Atlas. And then meet you in Tibet next week.
I was so young, but I still remember that terrible argument. It wasn't always an easy road for my parents. I think this was Dad's pocket watch. Looks like it stopped precisely at midnight.
Alright, well that seems to be everything in the master bedroom. I don't see anything else, at least as of right now. How are we doing on collectibles? There are still a lot more relics, a lot more documents. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not planning on picking up everything.
The Croft family crest.
Dad, what do you keep in there?
Nothing too important, Lara. Estate business and such.
If it's not important, then why bother putting it in a safe?
I should know better than to try and pull one over on you. There is something important in here. And it's for you, should you need it someday.
Well, let's hope you came through for me, Dad.
Watch it be a crowbar.
Okay, found all the clues. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Okay, so we need to
No, that didn't work. The answer has to be in the clues.
So review your documents and relics, find out the combination.